Lead jammer already awarded. We are getting through quickly, or are we? Yeah, here you can catch a glimpse that this skater is clearly out of play. This skater is close enough, but this is way more than 10 feet, so this is way more than 20 feet, so that makes this skater out of play. So we're scoring points. 3 points now, 4 points. The opposing jammer hitting us out. We're recycled way back. I believe white team is like playing for time a bit here because they have 2 skaters in the penalty box trying to kill the penalties to start off the next jam on a stronger defense. Again, not my job to understand the team's strategy necessarily, but it certainly helps. Can help you understand when exactly the jammers might be calling off the jam, because then you need to be extra vigilant on looking at when it exactly happens. And I'm not quite sure if this is points even from the footage. So, like for here, are these hips past these hips? Can't really tell. And if I try the freeze frame and when the jam ends, let's see. At these points, might not be any points, but not sure what I gave either. But yeah, very important to be as close as you can, to try to have the best information to make the call on the score. Especially in this kind of game, because as it might be evident, this is a pretty close game. So every point counts. Well, it counts every time for officials. We don't play loose with the points, even if it's hundreds of points of difference. But obviously the last thing you want to happen is for your mistake to decide the outcome of a game. And that can be more probable when the game is tight. There we get all points. Because we are staying in already now, we are at least certainly now, and we stayed in all the way, and we are past these foremost white blockers, so 4 points. Let's see what I'm looking at here. White 2-4, 1. Yeah, I believe it's this action here. The hooking my jammer with this movement here, keeping them back, keeping them from having the angle to go between the skaters. So that's the reasoning for my call there. Getting through with a nice spin move. Earning out the lead a jammer status. Getting through on the outside, checking the OPRs for the confirmation, getting all the points, calling off, moving on. Here again I'm like wondering quite a bit about this arm here, this forearm, but obviously I can't be making that call. There's two officials like looking at it with a way better angle, so I defer to them to make the call or not make it. I think the jammer is like, oh, I believe what they are signing there, that's here they got this elbow to their face. Well, there is movement by both parties, but certainly missed by me in the moment. That's not at all what I'm focused on, so high block should probably have been assessed there.
Come open up this side.
Or not, I mean, it's always hard when the head is down and you're trying to make an assessment if something is part of like regular skating, and when also the head is moving, is it the head moving to the opponent or the opponent moving to the head? But regardless, looked quite a bit like a high block. But again, that's previous jam. Moving to present day, we're stuck behind the wall, now getting through finally. White team has scored at least a couple times already. Calling off the jam before we get a chance to score. Moving on to the next jam. Here my spidey sense is tingling when I'm watching this approach by this offense. But in the end, yeah, if there would be, if this skater would hit this skater and then my jammer getting past with due to that's clearly a direction of gameplay. But here, what I'm only seeing like taking available space, not initiating any blocks while moving clockwise, friendly fire. Green jammer getting taken out by their own skater. Both jammers getting recycled way back, resetting the situation. Lead is still open. Here you can see a shot of the scoreboard as well. 13 minutes left on the game. Finally, lead awarded. Long ways into the jam. Not even sure there was contact to the back, but yeah, I'm signaling there if it was. Then the call was that it was initiated by the opposing blocker. Trying to not poke somebody to the eye with my lead hand. There. And here you can see like clearly already I know that the skater is making the call-off motion, but for it to be an actual call-off, you need the second touch to the hips. So that's why I only start the call-off whistle with the second touch to the hips. So it can take quite a while if the skater is doing like a big motion, like 1, 2. Before that, they can also like stop the motion and not call off the jam, so you need to give them that leeway as well. Very quick or tight re-entry. Here my jammer is already re-entered, and well, you tell me whose hips are in front. So if the jammer's hips are in front, it's a cut, so can't make the call there. Certainly not clear enough for me in real time. Yeah, one hand out for my jammer, so they are not out. Switching the hand, only one hand at a time, that's fine. So they never went out. Here I'm not sure what happens. They like stumble a bit, end up going out in the end. Apparently that my call was that it was that blocker making the contacts. Not quite sure from the footage. Looked more like the jammer was just stumbling, so maybe that's a bad call. But yeah, star pass complete. Already we are on a scoring trip. Not sure if we earned any points there, but now it's 3 points already at least. For the former green pivots, now 4 points, so all white blockers scored on. And the jump is called off. There what I'm looking at is like this. Well, I can't even see it in looking at the slow-mo, but I'm trying to see, well, first of all, if there's a whip taken with the forearms. I don't believe there is, but I also trying to look whether the jammer is keeping themselves upright by taking like, whoop, like a little nudge from the opponent, but can't clearly see anything like that going on there. But yeah, keeping yourself upright when you would have otherwise fallen down by taking an assist of an opponent with your forearms is not allowed. Regardless, that's in the past. We are already scoring points, even more points. 1 point on white, 1-3 scored already. 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. Slow pushing. We have this one offense. Not sure initially if, yeah. Well, in the end, jammer goes out of bounds. We are being recycled. Bonus points for you if you know at this point who has superior position from the white blockers. Because that is very much required information if you're reffing that in real time. Blocker penalty assessed there. Nothing slowing down in the pack. It's been a very physical game. So no wonder that skaters might be getting tired. As you can see, we start the next jam with our jammer in the penalty box. There was some kind of jammer penalty assessed between jams. I can't recall offhand whether that was due to an official review or just like good old-fashioned zebra huddle. But when you're waiting in the box, well, you should be like looking at your jammer, also being aware that whether the lead status gets already awarded as it was there. So no lead for us. One point, 2 point, 3.4 points. This skater returning from the penalty box and actually might be returning to the front engagement zone, which would be an illegal re-entry penalty, but not quite sure. Regardless, not my job as a jammer ref. My job is to count points, look at the jammers, call off jams. Again, tight struggle for the lead, and there it goes. Lead status awarded for green team. And how many points? Any takers? No? Answer seems to be 3, at least in real time. And if we try to understand why exactly... I mean, if you counted a point for this one, then nope, because that's the jammer with the helmet cover in their hand here, and there's this one skater on the way to the penalty box already, not on the track, so already here clearly 2 points already. And I would argue that these skaters are also being scored on, so white 1-3, only skater not scored. Very close here, but no. Again, very close, but I'm obstructed, can't really tell whether white 1-3 is being passed here or here. But that's what I'm trying to look at. Call in the end is nope. And also right in the end here you can see like the white 1-3 almost like giving the point for free. But yep, final call is 3 points. Lead awarded for whites. Big scrum with a lot of offense. Close to a forearm there on the white pivots. Not called regardless. We are getting through. Expecting a call off here. Also trying not to crash into a skater or a fellow official. Staying in bounds. Getting lead. I believe maybe 2 points already, now 4. Staying in bounds. You can see me there giving the unofficial hand signal pointing to my other forearm with one finger, signifying that yes, my jammer did touch out of bounds, but only with one hand. Star pass completed. My green team close to being an OPAC. There's an OPAC. In the end, all that chaos, and result is we get through with our jammer, putting the helmet cover on, ready to score points. And scoring points, that might have been a multiplayer. You can call me drop it off. Here my jammer, well, at least my basis for the call is that there's this link which is being challenged by my jammer, like trying to push on like this side of this pivot, so they could go through here, but being unfairly prevented by this multiplayer block, so I don't have time to make the full call, so I just like mumble it out of my corner of my mouth to the front IPR, who did end up enforcing it, so thanks. As a jammer ref, you can't obviously be staying behind to enforce a blocker penalty. You're supposed to stay with your jammer, so that might cause some delays on enforcing any possible blocker penalties that you are making or calling. Big pile up there in the forefront. Big slow scrum. Nothing much noteworthy happening in my areas of responsibility, and jam is called off. I believe we are approaching the final jams of this game. Staying in there for the green jammer, getting the confirmation from the OPR. Pack is here on the front with us. Strong defense, no one getting through quite yet, but finally their lead stat is awarded for green, and bracing for an apex jump completed. All points scored. Two points so far would be my assessment. And here, like in situations like this, you'd really need to remember which two skaters were scored, because the whole situation is reset. I believe that is now 3 points. I believe white 4 was one of the unscored ones and gave up their point by skating backwards. But yeah, so you can probably guess that was the final jam, and Gothenburg ended up winning that game and going to the finals. But yeah, that's another game in the books, and thank you for watching.